Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to another Lock Boss show. So I am back here and we're ready to have some fun. Now, if you haven't noticed, I have a very nice and well-known gentleman to my right. Might be your left, I'm not quite sure. The one and only Phil with Freeman.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on, as always.
Yes, well, hey, it's been great hanging out with you last night and then today.
Yep. Dinner with the Lockfather last night.
Yes.
That was good.
Yes. Man, I tell you what, being here with you, getting ready to talk about RV locks and all that, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be entertaining for everybody. But first and foremost, Phil, how have you been?
We have been doing good. We've been busy in Northeast Michigan, and yeah, things are good. So
I like it.
Yep. Nice to be out here, get a little different view of the world. So
absolutely. Now, do you have more snow up where you're at right now, or like how is it?
I think most of our snow has melted over the weekend, but we had about a foot on the ground about a week ago. So the last couple of weeks have not been good in Northeast Michigan. So I think it's finally gone, though, hopefully for good. Well, for the season anyway. So
absolutely. Well, hey, so of course it wouldn't be a Lock Boss show if we weren't drinking Topo Chico. So Phil, cheers, and cheers to all you out there as well. Drinking a Topo Chico, or for that matter, of course, your favorite beverage of choice. Yes, and so shoot, we're gonna hop in today's show, and I tell you what, okay, guys. We're in for it. Phil has brought a lot of awesome items that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. Of course, in just a few moments, we're going to be not only talking about it, but Phil has brought some giveaways. So not only are we doing the Lock Boss giveaway today, we're doing a couple other giveaways at the very end. So make sure you hang around to the very end because lots of people are getting hooked up today from the one and only Phil.
Well, we try.
Yes. But of course, now remember, if you're enjoying the show and you want more where that came from, you can head on over to the Lock Boss After Party. Now, the After Party is located on Jimmy J's, also known as the Iowa Lock Docs Discord. All right. Go ahead and look in the chats right now and you'll see a link to it. Remember, if you're watching, you are welcome. So head on over there. You can hang out. I'm going to try to get on at least for a few minutes tonight. All right. And Phil, it's one of those things that, if you ever feel so inclined, you should hop on the after party sometime. I know not today wouldn't work. But, it's a bunch of guys who are here, part of the Lock Boss community.
Okay.
We actually get on Discord. Do you ever go on Discord?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm 56, remember that.
Okay.
I would need some splaining on that one.
Okay. Well, it's pretty much like, how would I describe it? It would be like, it's kind of just like a private, I want to use the word server because that's what it is, but it's pretty much like a private, it's like it's like a forum / like hangout, and a bunch of guys get on there video chatting or sometimes just voice chatting.
Okay.
And we literally just talk about things, and we have went hours on there. Sometimes, they're like, PJ, we would like to talk to you about this, and this. Sometimes I like to explain to them why I believe Ryobi is the best power tool made.
Okay.
Right? Which if you're into the red stuff, you find that offensive. Phil, speaking of, what is your favorite power tool?
Red. Sorry.
Okay, you're a Milwaukee guy.
I am.
Okay, now how deep, while we're at it, now this is unplanned territory here, but Phil, how deep down the pack out rabbit hole have you went?
I'm not into the pack outs. I just buy the power tools. I haven't bought the pack outs, but and just the basic stuff, the saws, the drills, that type of stuff. But I don't. I'm not quite that addicted to it. I don't have everything available to me.
Okay. You're better than me when I have a hard time not getting the Ryobi tools, which is so many people think is disgraceful. Are you one of them?
No.
I mean,
I've never really used. I have a few Ryobi tools.
Oh, you do?
I don't have a ton. I have a detail sander, I think, and a couple others that are in the drawer, but
Okay.
yeah, for the most part, I don't do a lot of power tooling anymore. I guess I should take that back. We just bought a cottage, so I'm doing a little bit more than I used to. But
Okay.
for about 10 years, I've kind of been out of the building phase. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what about when it comes to the type of Milwaukee tool do you like? There's like the standard, and then there's like the M8, I think it's called. Did you know what I mean by that?
I use the 18-volt stuff, so I think that's
okay. I know there's like 2 series.
Yeah, there's a 12 and an 18, and that's
okay.
As of probably 2 years ago when I bought my last Milwaukee tool. So
okay.
So there might be something else out there.
Maybe there might be something you need to buy, Phil.
Well, yeah, there's always stuff to buy.
Isn't that the truth? All right. Well, here, let me pull up here the screen. Let me get that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right. All right. So, well, Phil, without further ado, let's kind of hop in. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's talk all things RV locks. And then, of course, we're going to kind of touch on Genericode at the very end. At the very end,
coming out here pretty quick. So
yes, and just for the record, I don't know if I have seen him on here yet, but Mr. Ken Nixon, I actually got to go have dinner with Ken Nixon last week down there at Pebble Beach, and he even gave me a tour of all of his lock and safe collection.
Wow.
And want to know something he did, Phil? He set me up. Okay, so we go to this thing, and he was like, hey, PJ, do you know how to open a manual dial safe lock? Okay. Well, and I'm like, well, of course I do. You know, my dad might disown me if I didn't, actually. And he was like, well, hey, can you open that one? And he gave me the code. And I was putting it in, and after I'm putting the code in, you know, you turn it back to lock it, and it opens up, right?
Yep.
I don't know what it was, but I just kind of messed it up, and like the handle came off or whatever, put it back on. It's like, well, do it again. I'm like, okay. Like, so I put it in, do it again, flip it, and I turn it and I open it. I was like, okay, there we go. And he's like, no, pull the, you know, it was a deposit or what's the word? In the ground.
Oh, in the floor safe?
In the floor safe.
Yep.
He's like, we're going to pull the thing off. So I was like, okay, so I pull it off, and he had a prank gone wrong. He put one of those like snake things that jump.
That used to come out of the can.
Yes. And it got stuck in the can. Thankfully, it got stuck in the can. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, this is what he was up to. So the rest of the time, you know, he was like, hey, PJ, try this one now. And I'm like, someone else want to? But yeah, anyways. All right. Well, hey, let's get today's show going. All right. And first and foremost, let's talk about what the prizes are this week. Okay. For the Lock Boss season 4.9 is what we're going to be doing here in a little bit. We'll be drawing live 4 Lock Boss winners, and they'll each get $125 credit. How about that?
Cool.
So we'll be doing that here. And since we're in Lock Boss season 4, I just want to go over how to win just to make sure that we are all on the same page on what to do if you win. So how to win is you put the hashtag LockBoss during this live show, and winners will be picked live at the end of the show using the hashtag picker. So drop a Lock Boss in the chat right now to enter today's giveaway. And of course, if your heart so desires, you can also like the stream. But let me pull this up here also. Okay, so right now at the moment we have, here's the hashtag picker. It looks like we have 41 entries. Now, just remember this. You can only enter in, how the system works is you can only enter in once. So let's say if you put hashtag LockBoss and you do it 10 times throughout the show, it only gets counted as 1. All right, so just keep that in mind. As we get going here, we're up to 42. So 41 43 now, and with 72 of you watching, there's at the moment, there's a decent amount of you who have not done that. So if you want to win, go ahead and put that in there. We'll pull it back up here in just a little bit. All right. With that being said, let's kind of hop into today's show, and we're going to be talking about working on RVs. We're going to be talking about new products, must-haves, and really have a lot of fun. So, Phil, you have a whole bunch of stuff sitting here on the table. All right. And I'm really excited to kind of have you go over and talk about each one. So, what we'll do here is I'll kind of turn the floor over to you.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you want me to say anything ever or just
move that. No, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll just kind of start going over a few of them here. So all of the, we consider the 4 major RV manufacturers. We have Global Link, FIC, Bauer, and who did I just miss? FIC, Global Link, TriMark, and Bauer. So everybody's got something new out, it seems like. So we will start with Global Link. So they just came out with a new series of keys. This is the complete set, and I think you've got this on your website. So this is the new G-Code series that they have. Blanks are not available from Ilco yet. So this is, through the Blue Dog line, we're selling the blanks for these, the master keys and the removal keys. So if you buy the entire set, you get one of each of the keys, and then you get the removal key and the master key on that set. So if you're not good at picking or impressioning or anything like that, and you want the full set, that's available. If you just want the master key and the removal key, that's also available. And that's the part number there. We can get that on camera. We are still decoding these keys right now, so these codes are not in Genericode yet. We are expecting those to be in the program by June. It'll probably be before that, but this will only be in version 26. What else do we have here? The part number on the blank is BD1105, and so if you need to order those, CLK will have those for you. And yeah, so like I said, the codes for those will be in Genericode here within a month or two. So that's kind of it for Global Link at the moment. Anything new that they've got? Of course, this is their old set, the removal and the master key, and then what they kind of consider their compartment key. So that's also available, but that's the older stuff. Pretty much everything they have is going to go to this nowadays. So that's what's going on with Global Link. As far as FIC goes, they've got a new key out that's kind of a surprise. This is the new J series. There's only 30 keys in the series. Red is the master key, of course, and the blue is the removal key. They called this initially when they came out with it their high security key. It's not high security, and there's only 2 depths on the keys. So I'm not quite sure why they consider that higher security than what they already have, but their blanks are not available for these yet. We did make our own blank, and that part number is BD1081. We do have the codes for these in Genericode now. So,
and Phil, could you hold up like the 2 red keys or the 2 blue keys next to each other, just so people can see the visual difference between them?
Yep. So this is the old FIC, and this one would be the new with the little corner on the bottom of the key.
Yeah, that new one that has that little cutout kind of reminds me of the first time I take a bite out of a donut. You know, is that bad or good?
I guess you could say that. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on with FIC. As I said, new version of Genericode will be out this week, and we have the codes for those in the program. TriMark, we are now stocking. TriMark's got a couple of things new that are going on. So they've come out with a high security series. The blank for this is Silka TM1RP. I don't know if you stock that blank or not. It's kind of an oddball. There would be really no other reason to stock the blank other than for this TriMark series. But these codes run in the 6,000. They're only used on Winnebago trailers right now. The red key, again, is your master. The green is the removal key. They're very expensive. I think that set runs like $150 or something like that for the 2 keys, just as a ballpark. And then the blanks run about $12 or $13 a piece. The I know the Triton machine has a DSD to cut these. That's already built into the Triton. I don't know about any other machines. I would assume any Silka product would have a DSD or the cutting pattern for that. So the ability to decode and originate those keys. So that's what's going on with TriMark. We are also now stocking the blue and the green. TriMark does the removal keys a little bit different. So the green set, these are removal keys for mastered cylinders, and these are removal keys for non-mastered cylinders. And these are, of course, only the double-sided. So that's a new, you can buy these as a pair or individually if you need to. A lot of people ask about why you would want to have removal keys for these. So a lot of people aren't good at impressioning or picking. If you have the mastered keys, the master keys and the removal keys, you can unlock the non-mastered cylinders or the mastered cylinders and then use a removal key to pull the core out. Once you have the core out, the code is usually on the side of the core. So then you can code cut a key if you need to. And then finally for Bauer, the long-awaited master and removal key. Bauer will not sell their master and removal keys to locksmiths, only RV dealers, and then they get a little bit crazy with the pricing as they do it. So we made up our own master and removal key. You can see here the master key has an M on it, the removal key has a C. It's got that Bauer oblong head that everybody's kind of gotten used to over the years. This is BD 1111 and 1110. So those are kind of all the new products we have in terms of the RV stuff. We also offer a couple of different packages, and I think you just put these in on the web. There's a complete set where you can buy all the removal keys, all the master keys, all the sets. That's got a pretty hefty price tag to it. And then it's also broken down into just the tryout keys and just the removal master key sets. So there's a few different packages available there. Somebody that's just new into it that wants to get into this stuff, we offer that at a discount for the entire packages. So, and I think all this stuff resides or is about to reside on your website. So everything can be ordered.
Yes. Yep. We have a few missing at the moment, but that'll be resolved here very soon.
Yep. The other tool we wanted to talk about, I don't know how many guys do hollow metal door repair and frame repair, but we have a new tool called the HRS1. This is a hinge reinforcement straightener. So when you have a door that maybe has been blown open by the wind, the door closer gave up, it has a bent strike plate either in the edge of the door, reinforcement, I'm sorry, either in the edge of the door or the edge of the frame. This tool will allow you to connect to the hinge plate, pry it back out using some bolts, and get it straightened out so the door works properly without having to replace the door or the frame.
Okay, wait, if you could, can you walk us through one more time how that works?
Yep. So normally if the wind catches a door and bends the hinge plate reinforcement, what you would do, tool comes with a link to a video here and then a whole bunch of fasteners. So you would go through the plate, go through the tool into the hinge plate, and depending on which pair of which side of the hinge plate you need to move back into position, you would either use the top and bottom or the second or the middle two positions, depending on where your hinge is. And then again, you'd have to remove the hinge first, and then you attach this with a couple of screws, and then using these large bolts, top and bottom, you begin turning those down onto the frame or onto the door. So if it's got a little skew to it, as you turn those, it'll bring that back square, so the door operates properly.
Awesome.
There's a video on our website that you can see how that all works.
Very cool.
Yep. And then, did you have a couple of screenshots from Genericode? Did we put in?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And do we still have those cylinders? Or were we doing those?
Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to show a little bit here about, we were talking about removing the cores. So in most camper and RV locks, they have a mastered cylinder. And the reason they do is so that when a RV company or an RV salesman wants to go out and show 3 or 4 trailers to a customer, he can just carry one master key with him instead of locating keys for 5 or 10 or 15 different campers. So the salesmen carry the master keys around with them. So if this was a lockout, you could go, and we didn't have our keys, if you had the master key set, you can take the Global Link green master key, put that in. Cores will only come out when you're in the unlock position. So we'll turn that back to the unlock position, and then take your removal key, slide that in, if I can get it in the right way here, and then you should be able to pull your core out. And when you do, let's see, where is it? It's not very easy to see on there, but there is a code number on the side. So once you have the core out, and this one is G, boy, oh boy, I wish my, looks like 376. So yeah, then you can just cut a G376 code key and put the core back in, and you'll have your user key that you can give back to your customer. That key will also, on a Global Link, operate both cylinders. TriMark has some where the top and the bottom cylinders aren't the same, but on most Global Links, they are the same top and bottom. So the deadbolt cylinder is typically not mastered. The top cylinder is normally mastered. So,
okay.
So that's the use of the control keys. Some of them operate a little bit differently. Like I said, TriMark's got 2 different sets depending on whether they're mastered or not mastered, but most of the removal keys just work on the mastered cylinder on the top. So as with everything, there's a few different rules occasionally, but for the most part, that's the way they operate.
Awesome.
So coming back over.
Yeah, well, very good. Yeah. So, Phil, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the RV key business.
There is.
Isn't there?
Yes.
It's, the fact that these vendors are changing, like Global Link, I think a lot of people would say, like, as soon as I finally really understand what's going on, a whole new set of keys comes out.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Right. But hey, you know what? That's what keeps it fun. That's what keeps it interesting.
Right.
Maybe.
I suppose. Yeah. There are a lot of guys that really, see a lot of this stuff. We try and stay on top of it as much as we can. Most of the manufacturers that we deal with are really good about it, and they keep us Global Link out of anybody. TriMark also is very friendly, but Global Link really does a good job of letting us know when there's something new coming out, and
cool.
Quite a ways ahead of time. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, so yeah, let's, well, first and foremost, before we go any further, I would like to, in the chat right now, if you use Genericode, go ahead and say something, right? What I was going to say, raise your hand, but you can't really raise your hand.
You don't have a little thing where people can.
No,
like that.
We should.
They can put that in there.
But yeah, who uses Genericode out there? Okay, because now we're going to be transitioning into talking about Genericode. And remember, now if you're a Triton user, you might just like what you think. Okay, yep, they're starting to come through here. Yep, hashtag Genericode. Yep, could have done that. I like it.
Use it a lot. Yep.
I like it. That's good. That's good. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me pull up the slide here. Well, you know what? First and foremost, Phil, we are in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
We're already in the 3rd month. Is that pretty wild for you or what?
Yeah, it just seems like we just turned I just got used to putting 26 on invoices in the lock shop. So
yeah,
finally.
I know.
We still handwrite. So
I mean, I still drive around and sometimes I still see Christmas lights up.
Yeah, that's true.
There's
still someone up, I have one neighbor that never takes them down. He just turns them off for 9 months. And then,
okay. I mean, for the record, mine aren't up anymore.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure we got that clear. But Phil, so when is the newest Genericode G26? When is it coming out?
We are releasing it on Friday.
This Friday.
Yes, as long as my programmer does his job. So.
All right.
Always dependent, but yeah, we're pretty good on Friday release. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And is there any new features that you would like to talk about?
There are actually.
And do they involve some slides?
They do. Actually.
All right. All right. Let's get it pulled up here. All right, Phil, what am I looking at?
All right. So we are currently working on this, but right now we have added Triton to the list of key machines that we support. We are just showing their ID number now. So when you look up a key, it'll show you what number you need to put in your Triton to pull up that particular series. So this is a GM key, and I'm sure a lot of people would just punch it in right through the interface that the program has. But if you do look it up in Genericode, right now we've got most of their ID numbers in the program. We're continuing to work on that, but whether it's a high security key or a edge cut key, those numbers will be shown in Genericode. We are working, and it'll probably be later this year, on being able to download directly to the machine. So that's a feature we're working on right now.
Awesome. That'll be amazing. But right now, as it reads, okay, so let's say someone looked this up in Genericode and they have like 25 version or older. They would look it up, but then they essentially have to go onto the Triton, and they're going to have to try to find it.
Correct.
Right? By year, make, model. I mean, there's a few different ways you can do that.
Correct.
But now you can just select the machine Triton, and it's going to give you essentially the space and depth card.
Correct.
And which in this case would be 163. Am I reading that right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I
don't have my glasses
I can't see
on.
that
But...
far, and I have my glasses and I can't see that far, so drivers beware.
Yes. And so what you'll do then, you can just go to your machine, type in 163 on the card number, and bam, it's going to pull it up.
That's correct.
So if you use a Triton, this new update will be very helpful, right?
It should get more helpful during the year.
And even more helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull up the next slide.
And I think we talked about this a while ago on your program when we had Gina, but we have a partnership with HPC where we're providing our code program to them. So if you're buying Code Source anytime after about a week from now, it will be Genericode. It'll have a little bit different interface on it. It'll say Code Source on it, but it's still our database. They sent us a CodeMax. We've got Genericode running a CodeMax now. So we've added 2 machines this year, one that we're fully controlling, which is the CodeMax, obviously, and then pretty soon we'll have the Triton in that list as well. So
awesome. So if you own a CodeMax and you get this new Genericode 26, you now can actually, when you pull up your key code, you can hit cut key, send the info right to the machine, put the key in, and just hit cut.
Correct. Yeah.
How cool is that?
It took a while, but we got it.
Did it?
And that does support the auto angling version of the CodeMax as well.
It does.
So, yep. So if you're doing the Medico, it'll do all the angled cuts on the key.
Very cool. So yeah, this is a pretty big, like, I mean, how would you talk about the update for the Genericode 26 compared to previous versions? Like, is this a pretty big leg up, or with like this added functionality, or is this kind of just normal?
Normally we're updating your make model. We're adding new codes as we get them. The problem nowadays, it used to be every year we would get new codes from the manufacturers. Anybody who's, in our audience that does automotive knows you can't get Subaru codes. You can't get some Kawasaki codes. I mean, it's all, you get onesie twosie from the dealers, but you just don't get a complete list anymore. Subaru codes aren't in any machine that I know of, and everybody struggles with them. So, yeah, it's nice to add a couple of features, put a couple of new machines in there. The Triton obviously is catching a lot of fire. A lot of people use that machine, so it's cool to have some information in there. We're deciphering all the calls right now to try and get that in the program, but they sent us a machine. We've got it sitting there, so we're ready to start testing as soon as we get all the strings put in and everything, whatever those programmers do. So
yeah. Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's really cool. Now, when it comes to the new Genericode coming out, though, I just kind of want to talk about a few things in case people maybe haven't used it before, or maybe they've used it but aren't kind of sure how updates and all that kind of stuff work. So I just want to start with the 2 versions of Genericode that you sell.
Yep.
The first one is the desktop, and the second is the online version, which goes by G-code.
Right.
So what's the difference between those two?
For the most part, the database is identical. So anything you can look up in one, you can look up in another. Anybody who owns the program knows there's about 14 buttons on the main menu. It's a lot of different ways to get to the same information, whether you're punching in a code number S123A and you're picking out a General Motors vehicle, or you're going into your make and model and then going to the code series that way. So a lot of different ways to get there. The desktop version has a few more buttons. It has a couple. The only thing that the desktop really does that the online doesn't do is cutting information to key machines. The online version does not talk to any key machine.
Okay.
It's strictly code retrieval and then machine display information.
So just to recap on that real quick. So if you have a machine that's compatible with Genericode that you can send cut information to, you want to get the desktop version.
Correct. And
because if you get the online version, you're not going to be very happy with Phil.
Right.
When you can't send the information.
That's correct.
And okay, so that's kind of the main.
That's the biggest difference.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, there's just a lot of different ways to get to the same information, but that is the big difference between the two. The online version can be accessed by the online versions. A lot of people ask about multiple logins and things like that. So it's IP based. We have an IP tracker built into the program. So if you log into the program here in Idaho, and then all of a sudden the program catches the same person logging on in Michigan, that's a problem, and that will get shut down. So as long as you can have multiple logins as long as it's within a geographic area.
Okay, and that's with the online version.
That's what the online version.
Okay, so if you have the online version, so how many? Now you access it via, like, I just want to be clear on a couple of things here. So you access it via a website,
a web browser. Yep.
A web browser. So you're going to go to Chrome or Safari, right, or dare we say Edge?
You could.
Dare we say? But no,
Firefox.
Yeah, Firefox. And when you do that, you can log in.
Yeah. Now,
if it's in the same geographical area, you can use it on multiple devices.
Yes, multiple logins concurrently. Yeah.
But if we're here in Idaho and I log in, and a couple moments later I'm in Texas and I log in, will I get locked out completely, or will only one of them work? Do you know?
We get reports, and so we just kind of monitor that type of thing, and it flags it. There's nothing automatic about it, but
Okay.
So everybody just needs to spend their $99. It's
Yep.
One per shop. So
Okay.
One per business.
Yep.
So
absolutely. Now, if someone currently has Genericode G-Code online subscription, and the new one comes out Friday, the G26, what changes for them?
Just new information. The online version really doesn't have a version number. It's just continually updated. So if you bought it the day before desktop 26 comes out, you just get a year. So you just have a 365-day period that continues to go.
Yeah. So now, right now, if you use the G-Code online version, is the Triton depth card numbers in there right now?
No, and I would expect for the online users, that's going to be about a week before all that information gets uploaded after Friday. Friday is the release date for the desktop version.
Yep.
And so we're probably looking at another week before we update everything in that program to reflect the 26 changes.
Gotcha.
So,
but as far as the space and depth information, that's already in the G-Code online.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the other thing about the desktop version, a lot of companies make you pay for additional unlocks. With the desktop version, you get to put it on 3 computers, which are included in the price of the program or the update. So you can install it on up to 3. Again, one location.
Yeah.
Or trucks operating out of that location. And then we do allow people to purchase additional unlocks if some people might have 10 service vehicles on the road. So we allow that as well. But there are extra charges above 3. So.
Absolutely. So that does make sense there. So
yep.
Now, okay, switching gears, or kind of, I'm looking at the questions as you're talking. I'm looking at the questions and kind of ask a few things. So, is there Genericode for Android?
Yeah, the online program work on an Android phone.
Yeah, because you're going to use
the desktop version. No, we don't support the desktop version. Does not install on a Chromebook.
Yes. So
is that kind of where we're going with that?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to throw you some questions that are tricky.
Okay.
Right. Because of course, if you have the G-Code online version and you use an Android device or an iPhone device, you don't have to worry about app compatibility because you're going to go to your browser and go to G-Code online and log in.
That's correct.
Right?
Yep.
Now, if you have the desktop version, it does not work for Mac. It works for Windows.
That's correct.
All right.
That's why I use a PC, BJ. We just had the discussion on Mac versus Windows. I will wholly agree that a Windows computer does not hold a candle to a Mac. But in the case of if you want to run Genericode, you can't have a Mac.
Yep, you just can't have a Mac.
I actually think there's an emulator, isn't there, for Windows programs?
I think there is.
I don't know if it works or not, but I've heard a long time ago somebody mentioned it to me.
Yes. Yeah, it does work. Yeah, but look at the comments here. There some strong feelings about Apple in here.
I wish I could learn how to use an Apple, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Phil, if someone has the G25 Genericode desktop, they put their hard-earned money out for it. G26 coming on Fridays. Are they gonna have to buy a whole nother software?
No, just pay the update price. So the updates run, I think, around $160 for a download, instead of $700 for the program. So yeah, greatly reduced for registered owners.
What happens if you have Genericode, the G24?
Same price.
What about G23?
Same price.
G10?
Same price.
Same price. So no matter what desktop version you have,
as long as you're an owner of record. So as long as you're in our database is purchasing the program, you don't have to buy metal updates. You just buy the latest update.
Yes. Now, is it okay if when can we update our website listing to the Genericode 26 desktop?
We would prefer you do it now because we're going to hold orders until Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, as soon as you can, because we're not shipping any more 25 right now. It's all going to be 26.
Which makes, I'm sure those, if they were to order an update right now or a new program, really appreciate that.
Yeah. We have a 45-day grace period. So anybody who's ordered an update within the last 45 days of the release date of the newest version, that's a freebie. So if anybody's ordered an older, a month ago ordered a program, we would give them a free version.
What about 46 days?
We typically go 45.
Okay. but
sometimes we stretch it a little bit.
But Phil, talking about this though, really like something that Freeman and why I think you're so loved by the industry is because you don't have to update every year if you don't see a need to.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be penalized.
Right.
Yeah. You can use it on more than one device.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be penalized. Right. And you do all these things that you're not shipping 25s right now and having someone get a 25 version and then be like, man, if I would have known, I wanted to just spend my hard-earned money on that.
Right.
And so I just want to say thank you on behalf of everybody for being putting the customer first.
Well, I mean, we have our own lock shop, so we do this every day, and I mean, we see the same things and the same, software updates and things like that through different companies. And so, that's just how would our lock shop want to be treated? We try and emulate that. So
absolutely. Yeah. I would say that, I mean, I don't know about you, but over the years, you kind of run into some software policies that you're kind of are you did you design this to make your customers mad at you? Because no one told you.
Yeah, that's true.
But well, perfect. Was there any other items that you were wanting to discuss?
I think that probably covers it. We've had a busy 3 months at Freeman, so lots going on, and always something new we're working on. So we reveal those when we can, and I always like coming on the show and having the opportunity to tell everybody what's going on back in Alpena. So
absolutely. That's really good. And then guys, so hang on, because here in a few minutes, we'll be doing the live winners, the Lock Boss winners. And then Phil wants to give you some stuff. Okay. He does, and he's here for it. So we're going to be hopping into that in a moment. Phil, did you see a comment that you were wanting to read?
There was one that said, "Hey, Phil, Ted is awesome. Ted's our programmer." And I already know that. I'm sure you don't mind hearing it one more time. So yeah, Ted's our programmer down in Plano. So that's one thing I might mention. If you ever need tech support that I can't help with, and as the days go on, there's less of it that I can, I always refer a programmer who born and bred in Texas. So he's a Texas boy. So you get there's no language barrier for Ted.
Okay.
So I'll put it to you that way. How's that?
Very nice. Very nice. Well, good stuff, Phil. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff that we just kind of went over. Between all the different new RV keys and going over the Genericode, exciting updates for that. I know, we have obviously sold a lot of Triton machines.
Yep.
So I know Triton users will be really excited to not be stuck with just the Triton information and to be able to make it a more smooth transition into that.
Can I mention one new feature on Genericode that's probably going to confuse everybody?
I would love you to. I would love you to.
So Genericode Desktop has a history feature to it. We always used to call it history. So you could look up a key on it, and if you wanted to keep track of that, you could add it to history. So if you looked up code S123A, you could add it to history. You could put in your customer's information. Say your grandmother loses her keys once a week, okay, and she always keeps coming back. So, so we made a history database. And so there's a button on the main menu called history. You can look up those keys that you manually added.
Okay.
In our partnership with HPC, they wanted a history of keys that were looked up without adding them to a database. So like the last 200 code searches.
Okay.
So now our history has become favorites, and history is now really keys that you just looked up the last 200 searches. So it's changed a little bit in the program. The names have changed, but the functionality is still there. So there's really two databases: those you added manually and want to retain for a long time, and then the last 200 searches that you did in the program to look up a key code. So if somebody was just in, or there's a date stamped to every one of them, so you can actually go back and look. And that was a feature that HPC asked us to add. So we're utilizing that in our program as well.
So if you have manually entered in information and you want to find it, you're going to go to
the same button, but it's going to have two functions. You're looking for favorites.
Favorites. And if you want to look at your previous searches, you go to
history.
History. All right. Perfect. Well, hopefully that'll clear it up a little bit, maybe.
I'm still a little foggy on it, as you can tell.
Yes. And I'm sure the first time someone does that and they go to history and not favorites, they're going to be like, what just happened?
Yes.
Let's call Phil.
Somehow that feature eked out in our last update of Genericode 25 and mentioned it on one of the forums. And then I had to actually get with the programmer and try and figure out what we actually did. So anyway, I think I have it down pat now. So.
Nice. Oh, and then I see Newhouse on here. Sent $2 in for your Apple support fee. My Android always works. Very nice, Newhouse.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interesting comments.
Oh, gosh, I like it. One last question here, and then we'll get on to the winners, which is if someone has a Black Widow, like that one right there, will that come up?
I don't know. I'm not sure if they talk the same.
I think
That's
it will.
a great question. I will find that out.
Yeah, it should. I believe it has all the same info.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I guess
I believe all the card numbers. I think like the brain's the same, I believe. So
okay.
As far as like the space and depth database.
Okay. Yeah. Then if not, we will try a little harder. So
okay. Well, how about that? I see that question in there. Let's see. Oh, well, perfect. All right. Well, hey, let's go. Let's head on over. Let's see how many entries we have. Okay, so this is the deal. If you want to be entered in here, we have 72 entries.
I see Mr. Shelton's on with us today from Alpena.
Yeah. So if you here in just about a minute, we're going to draw the lucky Lock Boss winners today. So if you want to be entered in to win, make sure you put in the hashtag Lock Boss. All right. And then here in a few moments, we will draw the lucky winners. All right. So make sure you get that in there. It looks like we have 75 right now. And then make sure you hang around afterwards. We're going to be giving away some stuff from Phil over at Freeman. So let's see here. All right. So we got about 30 seconds if you want to get entered in to win. So now you might be asking, well, PJ, what do we win? Good question. And Phil, I don't know.
See, you wonder why I can't use a Mac. I could never handle this.
Hey guys.
Power strike in Idaho.
Yeah, looks like everyone else is still here, which is good. I'm going to pull open the slides. All right, guys, we're back. I don't even know if you saw us leave. I don't necessarily know. Let me share that screen again. All right, we got 79 now. All right, Phil, I'm getting scared now. You know, I've been clicking these buttons here. All right, here we go. All right, let's
stress me out with that touchpad. Mouse is so
Oh yeah, I know. What am I doing? Let me All right, so we're going to be picking here in just a couple seconds. 4 Lock Boss winners are each going to get $125 credit. Now, this is very, very important. If you win, if your username is called here in just a moment, you're going to want to send us an email to sales@clksupplies.com, and we're going to hook you up with your coupon code. Okay? That's how it works. But man, you know, Phil, I'm really getting in trouble in the comments with all the Mac stuff. You know? Getting in.
It's a whole different language.
Yeah. Yep. But all right, well, hey, here we go. It's going to be time to pick our 4 lucky winners. All right. So here we go. We got 80 in, 101 watching right now, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun. Here we go. So you ready for this?
I am. I'm
4 winners.
I'm amazed at how it works. Go ahead.
$125 credits. Winner number 1.
Oh my gosh, is that cool? The slot machine of Locksmith giveaways.
Yes. Hey, Kukita 9. Congratulations. Let's go winner number 2.
That is so cool.
Mr. Inferno. Congratulations. Let's go to winner number 3. Labs 13. Congratulations. And last but not least, let's go to winner number 5 here.
4.
Or 4. Thank you.
Close.
I appreciate that.
Thought I was missing something.
All right, Mike. How do you say that?
I would go Kawanik.
Kawanik. Mike Kawanik, congratulations. How about that? All right, so let me go ahead and take this off the screen for the minute. All right, and then let's get into Phil's giveaway. So remember, if you are one of the 4 lucky winners, make sure you email sales@CLK and we're going to hook you up. All right. And now let me bring this back on stage here because we need to get this reworked for the next giveaway. So let me go back here, hang with me, and we're going to go to the next giveaway. All right. Which is, all right. So remember, if you won that, or even if you won Phil's giveaways here in just a second and your username was called, send us an email to sales@CLK and we'll get your coupon code for you. Okay. All right, here we go. This giveaway, bonus giveaway number 1 enter. Let me get this put in here first. Hashtag FRAMON. Enter hashtag Freeman if you want to win a set of Bauer double-sided master and change key set. Now, that's what you do. Put in hashtag Freeman. Now, we'll give it here just a couple minutes. So make sure you do that if you want to win. And Phil, can you grab that one and just show it to the camera here so they know what you're talking about? So it's those 2 keys.
There are 2 keys on the ring. It looks like
those are long-awaited keys, aren't they?
They are. Bauer has been very difficult with these, so we finally gave up and had them made ourselves. So those are, a lot of people have been looking for those for a long time. So
very cool. So put in hashtag Freeman, and we're going to choose 5 of you are all going to get a set. How about that? Very nice of you, Phil.
Well, no problem. Glad to be here and be with everybody for a half hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah, so let's put it on here and see. Oh my gosh, already 67 entries there, Phil. 69 entries. 68. We'll give it another
this is too cool.
Minute, about 30 seconds. Let's go about 30 seconds, and we'll announce the 5 winners. So now, if you win, you're going to want to send us an email at sales@CLK Supplies. All right, and then we're going to hook you up a coupon code that will get you the free set that you'll just check out on the website on, and it'll be pretty awesome. So let's see here, 72.
Somebody just asked, what series of locks do those work in? So this would be the RV, the RV 300 and the RV 700 series locks.
Cool. All right, Phil, I think it's about time. Let's wait for it to go to on the screen here. 3 more seconds. All right. Let's go. Let's pick these 5 winners here. We got 74 entries for this. Pretty cool. Here we go. Winner 1. New House Lock and Key. Congratulations. Winner number 2. Labs 13, a double
winner. Yeah,
I like it. Those are pretty good odds out of 70 or 80 users here. Okay, let's go winner number 3. John Falk, 6955. Congratulations. Let's go winner number 4. Lucky Strike 01. Congratulations. And last but not least, winner number 5.
I hope they're a bowler and not a smoker. So remember those old Lucky Strike cigarettes, no filters? Whew. You probably don't.
I don't. Have you ever tried one though?
I was a smoker back in the day.
Nice. Michael Johnson, 9485. Very cool. Congrats.
If I'm not mistaken, Michael Johnson is a Freeman owner. So
yeah, I think you're right.
Yep.
All right, so that's perfect here. So Phil, thanks again for those. Make sure that if you won, you send us an email, we'll get your code, and we'll get those shipped to you.
We have one more.
And we have one more giveaway. Or Phil, here, say it, Phil. Give us your best, but wait, there's more. Do you have a good one?
But wait, there's more.
All right.
And that's not all.
All right. And that is not all, folks, because here, actually, let me take this screen down again so we can get this ready so we don't miss any.
It is amazing what you can do with a Mac, I have to say.
Here we go. So last but not least, if you want to win a free Genericode 26 desktop, enter in the code G-code 26, or enter the hashtag, I'm sorry, G-code 26. All right. Now, Phil, how much is the MSRP on the G-Code 26?
So if you're going to buy it brand new, it would be $695.
Yeah, so this is a pretty pricey giveaway, very generous for you to do to the Lockbox community site. We really want to say thank you for all of it.
Oh, absolutely. Great to be here.
And so let's go and put that.
And if that person happens to have a Mac and they can't run.
Okay, I want to say that I clicked the wrong screen again. I apologize.
So if the person that wins the desktop version happens to have a Mac, we will give them a year instead of Genericode Online. So.
Okay. You know, those pesky Mac users, Phil. So yeah, we'll give it a minute or so here. Let me get this pulled up for everybody. Let's see. All right, we already got 64 entries in for the Genericode G26. Over $600 value here. Pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, by the way, Julio or Kylie, whoever's watching, we definitely need to make sure that we get our the G-Code listing updated to 26.
Yep.
That way, if someone wants to put it in now or tomorrow or something, as soon as it's ready to go, it's out the door.
Julio was powering down the pizza today at lunch. He ate half a pizza.
You know what? Hey, Phil, it happens to the best of us, though, right?
I guess.
Happens. And we'll just give it here a few more moments. Got 67 entries. And we'll give it, let's call it 30 more seconds. So 30 more seconds, and we're going to announce the lucky winner. Could there? Phil, what are the odds that there could be a three-peat on here tonight?
1 in 76.
Something like that, huh?
Is that right?
Something like that, yeah. Let's see. Give it just a few more seconds.
Somebody just suggested that I should give the Mac user, if they get the online, 7 years of the program instead of just 1. So
How about,
we'll go 1.
How about 25?
We'll go 1.
How about 25? How about until I retire one day?
We'll go 1.
Okay, yeah. All right, we got 70 entries now, and the time has come. Let's announce the winner of the Genericode 26 desktop version, or if you're one of those Mac users, a 1-year Genericode Online. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Phil,
drum roll, please.
Let's hit it. Let's see. All right. Let's see. G Keyman.
Is that a repeat winner?
565. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I think he won one of the first prizes.
Did he really?
Am I wrong?
Well,
my memory is good, but really short.
So. Oh, mine too. Mine too. Very, very short. But congratulations to G Keyman on that. So make sure you reach out to us, sales at CLK Supplies, and then we'll coordinate with Phil and get that shipped out for you. Pretty cool.
Probably go as a download. So we'll either email an address or we can ship a USB, whatever.
Oh, perfect.
So, yep.
Perfect. Well, very good. It's been great having you out here today and last night. He took me and the Lockfather out to dinner last night. So we got to hang out and chit chat a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had some conflict and we were trying to put Phil in the middle to pick a side.
Interesting dynamic between you and your father.
Yeah. I'm not sure that, although I couldn't ever really get you to pick a side, you were mainly just laughing.
I'm remaining neutral.
But I just have a funny feeling you were really siding with me. Okay.
Well, you're the son. So I'm on that side too. So, yep.
Oh man, that's good. But all right, now everybody, although this show is just about over, if you want to have more fun and you don't want this to be the end of it, you can hop on over to the Iowa Lock Docs Discord. You'll see a link in the comments. You can join the after party. You can hang out, join a great group of people talking about all sorts of things, locksmithing, all sorts of things, just about everything, actually. Sometimes a little F1. Or do you like F1, Phil?
I'm not probably what I would like a big fan. I'm more of a Detroit sports guy, so Red Wings and Tigers and that type of thing. But I'll watch cars go around in a circle. That's okay.
Okay, fair. Speaking of really quick, random. Do you watch football?
Yes.
Who's your team?
The Lions.
The Lions. Okay.
Who's here in Idaho?
No one.
So no matter how bad the Lions are, it's better than the Idaho football.
Yeah, but you know what though? The Lions have actually lately, like these past, ever since kind of Dan Campbell, seemed to really kind of like.
They have made some pretty big strides, I will say.
They have.
So, and yeah, if you ask my son, they just gave away about a third of the team in free agency
did they?
week. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, a little bit of discord in Detroit, I would say.
Okay. All right. But all right, everybody. Well, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Congrats to all of the winners. And of course, I'll be back here, same place, same time next week, but without Phil.
Yeah.
You're going to be back in Michigan.
Yeah, I got to go back.
But well, good, Phil. It was fun hanging out.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, take it easy, and we'll see you next week.